And, it sounds to me like, your beginnings when you first got your first computer and just having the experiences of seeing your parents be entrepreneurs and just kind of going out there and learning how to code on your own and just doing all these different things that impacted you coming from Egypt and seeing the struggles that people in the global south have had. That kind of allows me to really think about you as an entrepreneur, a CEO, a founder, and your love to continue to build things to create solutions for people that are, in the have not category. And that kind of makes me think about Paxful, right? Which, of course, everybody's been watching the news. They've seen what happened with Paxful. And Paxful has been super impactful for Africans, especially Nigerians in Kenya, Kenyans that live in the country of Kenya. But of course, you guys have suspended operations. Legally, how much can you speak about what happened in Paxful?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you everything. So here's the deal. There's currently a contempt of court charge hanging above my head because I've been very vocal about what's going on. I've been telling people the truth. Why would I've been preaching self custody for the past year. I send an email out every week, right? Because custodial exchanges are not the path forward, especially out of the United States. The American apparatus has turned against financial freedom. We see that happening right now. And that's part of the story. So we made the decision back in November when I saw what was happening in the United States, especially with peer to peer, especially with local Bitcoin traders going to jail. Going to jail. Some of these guys even had a federal MSB, money transmitter license, money services business license, and they still went to jail. So currently, there's not a lot of love lost there. I'm not going to put my traders in danger by saying, yeah, you can trade on this platform. If peer to peer can't even serve the United States safely, how can it possibly serve them? You go onto my timeline, you'll see all these brothers, a lot of them from Africa, saying, hey man, you locked my funds and didn't give me a reason, you scammers. Well, we're not scammers. That's not the case. But American compliance, they have very, know, they have uh, they have very itchy trigger fingers when it comes to what they deem suspicious activity. And once the activity is deemed suspicious, you have to lock that brother's funds. Tell Uncle Sam about it. File tens of thousands of dollars in paperwork. Put that through and wait for them to get back to you. Say, okay, it's good to let them go. That often takes you. And you can't even legally give these brothers or sisters a reason for that. Why? What do you call a system? Broken? Maybe. They'll definitely broken. But actually, it's not broken because it's demonic. It's actually working exactly as how it was designed to work. And that's the system that we can do. So I don't think peer-to-peer is viable in the United States. I certainly don't think a peer-to-peer company in the United States can ever claim or hope to serve the 100%, certainly not the global south. The system there is engineered against that. Their compliance laws are engineered against that, so how can you do it? So we made the decision as a board back in November to cease operations as taxable by March. And my plan was to do so in a very controlled manner, give people a lot of warning, and make sure everyone got their money out. But what happened instead is my co-founder realized that if we did that, and he voted to do that, but then he went back on his word and sued me. And he launched a surprise lawsuit on MLK weekend, hoping to catch us off guard. It was loaded with character assassination, all this rubbish about me, which was painful. And then he kept pushing this lawsuit so aggressively, some of the worst lawyers you can, that my entire senior staff quit. All the chiefs resigned. They didn't want to work with Artur. They threatened to resign a year ago before we legally fired him from the company because he was incompetent and no one wanted to work with him. Let's get that. And after all this legal stuff, them being accused of all these horrible accusations against him, he was all bailed. He even sued our general counsel, who was a Nigerian brother, claiming he was part of a huge conspiracy, and he resigned. Then he refused to pay the salaries of our most important staff, primarily our engineers and compliance people. So as of March 31st, that was last Friday, I had no engineers, no compliance people, and no senior level staff. And I warned him, we're not selling dog food. You can't keep a company like this running and keep legally, secure people's funds if you can't guarantee the integrity of the platform, the security of the platform. He played a game of chicken, and he said that nothing would go wrong. And I, at that point, I was ready to go online and tell everyone everything. Get your money off of this now. But because there was this lawsuit in front of me, and it was my fiduciary duty in America, meaning your loyalty to the corporation and stockholders, is greater than any moral duty, meaning to the customers and their money. He said, no, Ray, you can't do that. You can't go out and tell people you don't give a damn what the court says. You're going to put people's customer funds first. That's exactly what I did. And I said so too, man. And I might be found in contempt of court real soon. But fuck it, man. If that's the price I have to pay, I'm happy to pay it, man. Like, I don't give a damn about corporate law, man. I'm an honest man. If I give you my word, I'm going to keep my word. But if you're entrusted to hold people's money, you better put them first. It's their money. It's not our money. My parents were immigrants from Egypt. They were school teachers. We went to America. My father was washing dishes to bring me, my mother, and sister over. And then we finally got our own business, a newsstand on Columbus Circle, Hell's Kitchen, in the 80s and 90s, crack epidemic. It's one of the worst times to be alive in New York. It was kind of fun, but it was hell too. And that's where I grew up, and I saw my parents fight for every damn cent. My mother and father didn't take a vacation ever. For like 20 years I was alive working with them, they never took one day off. My mother's hands were washing our clothes with bleach. So I don't give a fuck what anyone says, man. If you give me a choice, I'm going to screw over those people who are just like my parents over something like some dude in a suit. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm checking out of that. I'm going all in on the people that raised me and the people that are from places where I'm from, just like me. I'm sorry, brother. I'm getting a little emotional.